Here is today's coaching moment. This is a coaching tip. There are times in our life which are times of expansion. There are times in our life which are times of contraction. And it is one of the most valuable things to understand for you as an individual, whether you are in a time of expansion or a time of contraction, or as a society, whether we're in a time of expansion or a time of contraction. So let me tell you a quick story to explain this concept and then to bring it home. Kia and I went to a yoga class, which was in the Ashtanga form of yoga. And if you're not familiar with Ashtanga, which was put together by Patabi Joyce, Ashtanga has 5 different series, each one more challenging than the next. To give you an idea of just how challenging those series are, you could spend 20 years of your life in class every day, 6 days a week, practicing, not getting injured, hopefully, and in 20 years, you might make it to 5th series. That's how difficult it is to get to 5th series. For me, I've been working on 1st series. And in this lifetime, probably I'll just be on 1st series. It's possible someday I could get to 2nd series, but it really doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It's a practice. So Kia and I went to this Ashtanga class. And while we were in the class, I couldn't take my eyes off this woman who was practicing. I'd put her at about 70, maybe 75 years old. I mean, the way she was moving on her mat, it was just extraordinary. The grace, her strength, her elegance. And I literally just kept looking over because I was like, my God, that woman, the way that she inhabits her body, the way she's moving, it's just so beautiful. So the teacher, this young man, the teacher of the class, he came up to me and he said, I notice you're watching my mom practice. And I said, I am. I can't take my eyes off her. It's just incredible. Her practice is amazing. And he said to me, in my lifetime, I've watched my mom go from 1st series to 2nd series, 2nd series to 3rd series, 3rd series to 4th series, 4th series to 5th series, 5th series to 4th series, 4th series to 3rd series, 3rd series to 2nd series, and 2nd series to 1st series, where she's practicing now. He said, at each step of the way, she was just practicing in the place which was appropriate for her. And so there it is for you. There's periods of expansion through life. And then there's periods of contraction through life. Now, our life overall, as he was describing his mom, is a big expansion. And then towards the end of our life, or middle to end of our life, is a contraction and a contraction and contraction. And then ultimately, the ultimate contraction, which is the leaving of this body, the release of the body and entering the other realm, going into the invisible realm. But each of us has moments of expansion in our life and contraction in our life. And it actually tells us and guides us, helps us to move forward. It shows us what to do. So for this woman, it would be ridiculous to think for anybody to practice yoga, oh, well, I'm going to start practicing yoga when I'm in my 20s, and I'm just going to get better and better and better, more and more strong physically forever. And then on the day that I die, I'll be the strongest person I've ever been. We all know that's just ridiculous. We think we're going to go forever when we're in our 20s. And we may still think that in our 30s. Later on, as we start to feel this beautiful contraction, and I do mean it's beautiful, because as the physical contracts, the spirit expands. The spirit expands hugely. But to bring it home to you right now, okay? When you have a hardship that you're facing as an individual, when you have a hardship that you're facing, let's say you've lost somebody dear to you, or you lost a job, or you've had a rejection of some kind, or you're facing some kind of difficult emotional reality for you. In those moments, These are moments of contraction. When you've just gotten out of a divorce and you're needing to lick your wounds and you're needing to heal and you're needing to come back to center, that may not be the best time to expand your energy out into the world, to launch a new business and to do all these new things as if nothing happened. Because that wouldn't be obeying that moment of contraction where you need to pay attention to a couple of things. If you have a flu, okay, and you're not feeling well physically, this is not the time to go out and run 10 miles. This is often not the time to go out and do a very hard yoga class. Sometimes it might be good just to rest, because a moment of contraction requires a moment of rest. And then later on, as we know, there'll be another moment of expansion later when we feel better, and we'll be able to engage in activities that are more appropriate for a time of expansion. So that's you as an individual. How can you bring enough awareness to your life that you can tell where you're at? Is this a moment of contraction? Do I need to draw in a little bit? Maybe I'm low in my finances right now, and this wouldn't be the time to build a new wing of my house. Or this wouldn't be the time to go out and buy something expensive. You know, like this is a moment where I need to obey where I'm at. How can you have this awareness? First, you have to think along these lines. Next, you want to practice and ask yourself the question, is this a moment of contraction for me? Is this a moment of expansion? What would be appropriate given the moment that is here in front of me? In our society today, this is a moment of contraction. What does that mean for us? What would be wise for us to pursue as a course of action during a time of contraction? More sleep. Absolutely rest. More meditation. Absolutely do meditation every day. More yoga. More work on the internal. No need to focus on the external as much. This is a time of drawing in the senses. So eating really healthy food, playing a musical instrument, not taking on too much. If you find yourself being stressed while you're at home, ask yourself why and correct it right away. Take a bath. Take a bath every single day. If you can get Epsom salts or you can get some beautiful essential oil, put the oil in the bathtub, get yourself into some beautiful hot water and just love that. Just love that and be with that and know that that's enough. When your mind starts to go ahead to the future and you start to future trip, how am I going to fix my finances? What's going to happen to everybody? How many people are going to die? When is this going to be over? Are we ever going to be able to get back to the way things were? When those kinds of thoughts stop. Those are not helpful thoughts in a time of contraction. In fact, they're really not helpful thoughts in any time because those questions don't have answers. They actually don't. So in this moment, what you can answer is, how can I bring myself to the greatest health possible? How can I be the best person, most calm and most centered? How can I allow life to unfold and keep my mind tuned and open and ready for when the next time of expansion presents itself? Obey this moment of contraction, and we'll get and learn everything from it we possibly can.